Alright, we got the Doom The Dark Ages McFarlane Elite Edition figure. I'm a big fan of Doom, and as you can see here, I've had Doom The Dark Ages on PS5, been playing this for a while. Super kick-ass game, a lot of fun. I was a big fan of Doom Eternal, and I missed out on the original McFarlane Doom Eternal figures, so when this guy was announced, I was kind of excited. I'm like, well, this is a chance now to, second chance to get the Doomslayer figure. Unfortunately, though, he is packaged in a higher price point now. This is the first Elite Edition figure that McFarlane has done. And man, I mean, look at that. If you didn't know it was an Elite Edition, I mean, just the font size on that, Man, I think they should have gone bigger, I mean, look at that. That's crazy. So yeah, this is the highest tier of figure that you can get now. Originally we had Collector's Edition, and then we've had Theatrical, Deluxe Edition, and now we have Elite Edition. So this is going for $60 US. Now in Canada, what's weird is that this is also going for $60 Canadian. So if you don't know, the conversion rate is about 70 cents to the dollar, to the US dollar. So we're actually getting it for cheaper up here in Canada. So it's not quite as bad of a hit to the wallet. But unfortunately, yeah, you guys down south in the US are paying a pretty penny for these, and if you can't guess the reason why, well, it rhymes with Arifs. Anyway, this is not a political show. This is an action figure show. And, the point of this review is to really take a look at this guy and see if he is worth the money. So, I don't know, box, I've been spinning it around. It's a little, we get the same artwork repeated twice on two sides of the box, which is kind of a little boring. I think they could have done maybe something different on the back here. Seems like they've mostly been doing video game figures as Elite Edition figures too. There's the Diablo ones, there's the Fallout ones now, but it looks like this Elite Edition thing is also going to come to DC Multiverse at some point. So, it's with the Zatanna figure, and I don't really know if that's actually a 2-pack, or that's just like one figure with kind of a bonus figure in it. So I don't know if that's going to be $60 or, more, but let's get this guy out and let's see what we got going. Alright, so here is the Doomslayer out of the box with everything he comes with. Just to start off, so yeah, that second card, I guess you get 300 points for, this is McFarlane's collector club thing that he started. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how much 300 points is worth. I don't know if that's like $3 or something. I think I redeemed. I don't know. I think I redeemed like, I don't know if it was 2,000 points for like $20. If it couldn't have been 200 points for $20. It was. Because then this would be like $30. That doesn't make sense. So this is probably like $3 or something. And then you get, your kind of basic data file card that's, we've seen with the DC Universe Multiverse line. It's fine. It's got a bit of the gold foil on there. I kind of like the collector edition ones more though, where maybe the foil's kind of over the art itself instead of being on this side thing on the white. I don't know. It's whatever. So he's got these big ass feet, right? And even still, just it's a little hard, even with these big feet, it's a little hard for him to stand like flat on his own, and even like the ankles are kind of angled in a way. I might have to really play around with him, but he is chonky. He's got big chonky boots, chonky feet. I do really like the paint though. I think he is painted very well. The silver is really nice. The greens are nice. Even like, and there's a nice kind of dirty black wash over everything. Like you can see on the skin here, on the muscles, it kind of brings out some of the definition in his veins and stuff. you know, going down. He's got a lot of nice, you know, detail in the belt. Like this is, you know, plastic chain that's there. You know, he's got the shotgun shells. I think the chainmail's done well. The armor's done nice. And again, kind of that dirty wash on his boots. He looks like he's been, you know, trudging through hordes of demons, you know. And then you got this, this, you know, kind of soft goods fur kind of cape on his back here, which I didn't actually, you don't really see much of that in the game itself, but it, you know, because it's obviously a first-person game, but yeah, that's there. I don't know if it is removable. This thing is removable, though. This little gun thing that, you know, I guess is a bit of a spoiler, but later on in the game, you get a power-up where you get this gun that shoots up and shoots people automatically as you're blocking attacks. So, but yeah, no, the fur cape itself is not removable. It's kind of, it's really glued in underneath his head there, so you'd probably have to cut that. Yeah, just taking a look at his accessories. So he's got the big shield here. It's got nice detail. I don't know though. I would have expected maybe the blades to be the same silver as the armor. It's got a real big handle on the inside there. It's also got a bit of a dirty wash over it. Pretty hefty piece of plastic there. You've got this big gun, which I believe was called the Shredder. It kind of, like he would load skulls into it and it would like shoot out shards of human skulls. And everything about it looks good except for like this, except for the opening. You see inside there, it's all just kind of ugly, unpainted plastic. And it's, I don't know, like the outside looks nice. Like see the skull and everything looks nice there. I kind of wish these little skulls on the side were maybe painted too, but it's also loaded up with other skulls. So yeah, the skulls just keep going and then it kind of grinds them up and shoots the shards of skull out. But that's the idea, right? But I don't know, this whole inside just looks kind of like ugly unpainted plastic. It would have been nice maybe to have some blood splatter or something in there. We got the shotgun, which is fairly nicely painted. Yeah, his, you know, classic double barrel shotgun he has in most games. Then we get this this mace too, which has a nice chain on it, you know, swings. This is just kind of all basic black, kind of a dark. I don't know. I think the mace could have again maybe done with some, maybe again some blood splatter, some dirtiness, some marks to make it look like it's actually been used and you know, bashing demons' heads in. The only other things, we get 2 more hands, you get 1 more open hand, and you get only 1 fisted hand. Because the other hands he comes with, well, as you can see there, they're both kind of gripping hands to hold guns and stuff. But yeah, only 1 fisted hand, and then just a kind of, I don't even know what this is supposed to do, it's just kind of an expressive hand. Like, I think 2 fisted hands would have been better, and maybe 2 of these hands as well, just to give us 3 sets of hands. Let's look at some articulation here. So, head really doesn't have a lot of movement. Like, that's as high as he can look, which is pretty much straight on, and you can kind of bend down. It can, I don't know if I would want to do it 360 degrees, because it feels like it's gonna like tear his cape, his fur cape here a bit. Yeah, so really not a lot of head movement, not a lot of arm movement because of these giant shoulder pieces that are stuck onto the to the arms. So that's as far as I can move up and down. I think he's only got single jointed elbows that really don't have a lot of range of motion either. I mean, that's all you're really getting from that. I guess, you know, I'm assuming this is the same mold as the original Doomslayer figure. Again, I never picked that guy up, so I don't know, but so I guess they're just using the old articulation of that one. But yeah, not a lot of motion. So, I mean, the legs can go out, you know, they got that kind of thing. It looks like they should drop down, but they don't. And then, yeah, big single jointed knees as well. It's a bit stiff, the plastic yeah, I don't know, just really not very well articulated. And the ankles as well, they're kind of limited by, you know, the plates, so it only kind of goes up and down about that much there. Which is not a lot, you know, if we're paying elite prices for an elite figure, like, I would expect, you know, an entirely new buck, and it seems like they're probably just reusing the old Doom buck with some new parts and pieces. I mean, yes, the paint is a lot better. I guess, you know, the wrists are articulated like that, too. They're just on a hinge. The paint's better, but the articulation really sucks here. So, you know, even just trying to get him into the pose, like on the cover of the art here, it's hard for him to do it because of how limited a range his arms have. You know, he can't really lift the shotgun up all the way like that, and he can only get his shield so high there. So, you know, honestly, like, this is the thing, guys. It just did not put in the extra effort, and McFarlane does not seem to be paying attention to what the rest of the competition is actually doing. Like, this right here, this should have been a bicep cut, like a bicep swivel. I'm sorry, I gotta zoom in. This freaking line, this should have been a bicep cut, a bicep swivel. You could have hidden it so easily right there. Doesn't move. Doesn't move. Like, the fur... This whole, this should have been like a wired cape, like a wired cloth goods fur cape. I don't know why it's not wired. You know, the pinned single jointed knees and elbows is just atrocious. It's just really bad in, you know, in 2025 here. Like, and the card thing, I actually realized I kind of lucked out, I guess. I got a 300 one. I guess the points are randomized. So some people might get 50, some people might get 300, some people might get whatever. So I guess I actually got a decent one, but doing this kind of lottery point system, like, and charging more, like, come on. So, I mean, I guess maybe you'll make your money back if you pull, like, a high point card, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, honestly, the sculpt here is fantastic. The paint is really, really good as well. The paint application is great. It's just the articulation and the lack of posability that really hold this guy back. Like, he could have been so much better if he actually moved and posed well, you know? That's kind of what's frustrating here. I think for an elite figure, we need elite articulation, we need elite posability, we need... You know, we need pinless joints, you know, he doesn't even have, like, you know, toe articulation, which, you know, standard McFarlane figures come with. Like, you can't just, I don't know, just do this basic, you know, stuff you were doing back in 2021, like, and be charging, you know, 3 times the price for that. That doesn't make any sense at all. So, I don't know. I would not say this guy is worth it at full price. I would say pick him up on clearance, pick him up on sale. It's a bit disappointing, and it's not a great start to the Elite Edition line, at least in terms of value proposition. It really isn't. You do get a nice spread of accessories. I mean, yeah, you get the shield, you get 2 guns, you get the mace. Not really enough hands, though. I think 2 fisted hands would have been good. Maybe another, you know, 2 of these just kind of open, expressive hands. It's too bad. It's too bad. It's too bad because great sculpt, great paint, just really terrible articulation and posability. That you can't really get him into a lot of those kind of dynamic, like, fighting, like, stances that you would maybe want to pose this guy in, especially if you have some little demon figures or whatever. Like, he's not really going to be able to fight them very well. I don't know, for 60 bucks Canadian, like let alone $60 American. I don't, Todd trying to throw in these, points for his club is just like, I'd rather you just knock $5 off the figure instead of giving me, $5 in McFarlane points or whatever. Like, yeah, this it's just this is a bit disappointing. We could have maybe had some more head sculpts or something. Or really, I think for these Elite Edition figures, we need entirely new tooling, like entirely new bodies. It looks like the other ones kind of are. I think the Fallout ones and the Diablo ones, those are like completely new sculpts. But I don't know, this guy just not worth the money, This would be a pass or a pickup on sale. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below.